You gave your time. You gave your energy. You gave your heart. You thought they cared. You showed up when they needed you. You listened to their problems. You helped them move. You lent them money. But when you needed something, silence. When you were hurting, they were busy. Something felt wrong. You started asking yourself, do they actually care about me? Or do they just care about what I give them? The signs were always there. You just didn't want to see them. The late-night texts only when they needed something. The one-word replies. The canceled plans. The feeling of being drained after every conversation. Today, we are going to name 7 attitudes of someone who only uses you and doesn't care about you. If you recognize these attitudes, it's not your fault. But now you will see clearly. Let's begin.
Attitude number 1. They only contact you when they need something. Watch the pattern carefully. Notice how they never text just to say hello, never ask how your day is going, never check in on you. Scroll through your call history. How many times have they called you just to talk versus how many times they called asking for a favor? Think about the last 5 times they reached out. Was it to share good news? To ask how you feel? Or was it always a request? The messages feel like commands, not conversations. I need this. Can you do that? Send me money. But here is the real test. Say no, just once. Say, I can't help this time. And watch what happens next. A person who cares about you will say, no problem, I understand. Hope you're okay. A user will react very differently. The user becomes cold, short, angry even. They make you feel guilty for having boundaries. Notice how they didn't ask why you couldn't help. They didn't care about your reason. They only cared that you said no. This is not friendship. This is not love. This is a transaction, and you are the one always paying. Go back and look at your conversation history. Count how many times they asked about your life. Then count the requests. The math will hurt, but the truth will set you free. They don't want you. They want what you provide. You deserve to be wanted for who you are, not for what you can do, not for what you can give, not for what you can lend.
Attitude number 2. They never ask about your life. Every conversation revolves completely around them. You share something important, a promotion, a loss, a struggle, and they immediately turn the conversation back to themselves. Their response to your pain is not comfort, it is competition. You think that's bad. Let me tell you about my day. You become an audience, not a friend. They perform, you applaud. They vent, you absorb. But they never ask, how are you really? You send a vulnerable message, you open your heart, and they reply with a thumbs up emoji. Or worse, they leave you on red. Feeling invisible in a relationship is worse than being alone, because alone, you expect silence. With them, you expect care that never comes. Have you noticed that they know everything about you? Not because they asked, but because you volunteered, and they never remembered anyway. A user sees you as a mirror. They don't see you, they see their own reflection, their own needs, their own problems. Ask yourself, when was the last time they asked you a question about your life? A real question. Not what are you doing, but how is your heart? If you can't remember the last time they asked about you, that is not an accident. That is a pattern. That is who they are. You would never treat someone the way they treat you. You ask, you care, you remember. Why do you accept less than what you give? A person who cares asks. A person who uses takes. Listening is not silence. Listening is active. Listening is love. You are not a diary. You are not a therapist. You are not a trash can for their emotions. You are a person who deserves to be seen.
Attitude number 3. They disappear when you need them. When life gets hard for you, they get hard to find. You reach out in a moment of crisis. You are vulnerable. You admit you need help. That takes courage. They read your message. You see the read receipt, but no response comes. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. You call. They don't pick up. You call again later. Voicemail again. But you see them posting on social media. They are active, just not for you. This is the most painful sign. They have time for everyone else. just not for you. You are not a priority. You are an option. When you are happy, they are there. When you are useful, they are there. When you are broken, suddenly, their phone is broken too. Look at your call log. Who calls whom? Who shows up for whom? The answer will tell you everything about where you stand. A healthy relationship is a two-way street. A user relationship is a one-way donation, and you are the donor. When they finally reply, there is no urgency, no concern. They treat your pain like an inconvenience, like you are bothering them. The response is generic, like a customer service bot. Sorry you're going through that. No offer to help. No call. No visit. Just words. You would drop everything for them. You have dropped everything for them. But when the roles reverse, they are suddenly very busy. Here is the hard truth. They are not too busy. They are too selfish. They are there for what you give, not for who you are. You cannot force someone to care. You cannot beg for presence. If they wanted to be there, they would be there. Period.
Attitude number 4. They make you feel guilty for having boundaries. When you say no, they punish you. Watch what happens when you set a simple boundary. I can't do that. I need some space. That doesn't work for me. They use guilt as a weapon. I thought you cared about me. After everything I've done for you, you're being selfish. And it works. You start to feel bad. You ask yourself, am I being selfish? Maybe I should just help. Maybe I am the problem. This is manipulation. They are not respecting your boundary. They are attacking it. And when you give in, they learn that guilt works on you. But here is the truth. Boundaries are not selfish. Boundaries are self-respect. Saying no does not make you a bad person. A healthy person respects your no. They say, okay, I understand. Let me know if anything changes. A user attacks your no. You do not need to explain your no. You do not need to justify your boundary. No is enough. I can't is enough. When they say, you've changed, translate that to, you are no longer easy to control. When they say, you're selfish, translate to, you stopped serving me. Their anger is not proof that you did something wrong. Their anger is proof that your boundary worked. It stopped them from using you. Let them be angry. Let them call you names. Let them tell their friends you changed. You did change. You changed for the better. Your peace is more important than their approval. Your sanity is more important than their satisfaction. You are allowed to protect yourself. The right people will celebrate your boundaries. They will say, good for you for taking care of yourself. The wrong people will punish you.
Attitude number 5. They take credit but never give it. Your work becomes their achievement. Your ideas become their brilliance. You did the work. You stayed up late. You made the calls. You solved the problem. But when someone says thank you, they step in front of you. You try to speak up. You try to correct them. But they laugh it off. We're a team, they say. But the credit never goes to you. This is exhausting. You give and give. They take and take. And then they stand in the spotlight that belongs to you. Think about the last time you succeeded together. Who spoke about it? Who got praised? Who was mentioned? And who was forgotten? In their story, you are a supporting character. In your story, you are the one who did the work. There is a difference between collaboration and theft. They will stand on your shoulders and call themselves tall. They will take your words and call themselves wise. This is not partnership. This is parasitism. You do not need their validation. You know what you did. Your value does not depend on their acknowledgement. Stop expecting credit from someone who profits from your invisibility. They will never shine a light on you because your light makes them smaller. But here is what you must remember. Every time they take credit for your work, they know. Deep down, they know they didn't earn it. And every time you stay silent, you teach them that it is okay. Start speaking up. Start documenting your work. Start protecting your light.
Attitude number 6. They only show up when they need an audience. Your peace is interrupted by their performance. They don't come to see you. They come to be seen by you. They need a witness to their life. And you are the unpaid audience. You sit there for hours, listening to their dramas, their victories, their complaints. And when they are done, they leave. They don't ask about you. They leave as suddenly as they arrived. And you are left feeling drained, empty, used. Because you are not in a conversation, you are in a performance. Notice how you didn't speak, not because you had nothing to say, but because they never left space for your voice. Your voice was not invited. You have been cast in a role you never auditioned for, audience member. Your job is to watch, listen, and applaud. But you are not a character in their movie. You are allowed to stop attending their one-person show. You are allowed to say, "I don't have the energy to listen right now." They will try to enter anyway. They will text, they will call. They will say, "You won't believe what happened." But you do not have to open the door. Ignoring is not cruel. Ignoring is protecting your energy. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and they have emptied you too many times. You realize that real connection is not performance. Real connection is mutual. Real connection is, "How are you?" followed by silence so you can answer. A healthy relationship has equal speaking and listening, equal giving and receiving, equal presence. If you are always the audience, you are not in a relationship.
Attitude number 7. This one might be the most painful. You feel worse after being with them. This is the ultimate test. Listen to your body. It always tells the truth. Before the meeting, you feel fine, maybe even good, but within minutes of being with them, something changes. You feel tired, heavy, small. You walk away and you feel drained, not because you did anything physical, but because they fed on your energy. You are emotionally exhausted. You ask yourself, why do I feel so anxious? Why do I feel so empty? They didn't even do anything wrong. But your body knows something your mind won't accept. Your body keeps score. The tension in your shoulders, the knot in your stomach, the headache after every conversation. These are not coincidences. Pay attention to how you feel after you leave them. Do you feel lighter, or do you feel heavier? Do you feel peace, or do you feel dread? The right people will fill your cup. They will leave you feeling seen, heard, and valued. The wrong people will drain your cup. They will leave you feeling empty. You do not need to analyze every word they said. You do not need to list everything they did. Just ask one question. How do I feel after being with them? Your feelings are not overreactions. Your feelings are information. If you consistently feel worse around someone, that is not a coincidence. That is a pattern. You are allowed to walk away without a big fight. You are allowed to walk away without explaining yourself. You are allowed to walk away because you feel bad. That is enough. The 7 attitudes of someone who only uses you and doesn't care about you. If you saw yourself in any of these scenes, you are not crazy. You are not too sensitive. You are not asking for too much. You deserve relationships that feel like home, not relationships that feel like work. You deserve to be cared for, not just used. Take that truth with you, and don't settle for less, ever.